James McGregor, 1 billion customers, lessons from the front lines of doing business in China. In 1 billion customers, lessons from the front lines of doing business in China, James McGregor shares his insights on China's tremendous growth and the challenges faced by Western businesses operating in the country. With over 1 billion potential customers, China has emerged as the prime focus for global corporations. The book takes you through the nation's journey from imperial rule to embracing the tenets of capitalism, all while maintaining control through the Communist Party. Learn how cultural nuances and bureaucratic politics impact business negotiations and gain essential pointers to successfully navigate the Chinese business environment.
China's economic transformation. China has recently been the focus of the world's largest corporations in search of accessing its billion potential customers. While China was undergoing a modern awakening in the early 1990s, the communist government remained in control. Nevertheless, James McGregor, a former executive of the Wall Street Journal, recognized the country's potential for becoming the world's largest financial market. McGregor saw that China was going through a corporate turnaround strategy, simultaneously empowering the local reformers and the old guard communists. In the interim, China required foreign talent, technology, and capital as it raced through the economic period of urbanization, acquiring a rapidly developing middle class. The Chinese government shifted its stance on privatization and loosened controls after facing worldwide condemnation for killing student reformers in Tiananmen Square in 1989. The Communist Party still controlled the reform process, but the country was poised to become the world's largest turnaround. Understanding Chinese politics and society. The book explores the political and social structure of China, which is based on a 2,000-year-old aristocracy. The inner court, led by top party officials, provides social order, while the outer court is made up of high-level bureaucrats. China is a shame-based society where exposure and condemnation bring disgrace to the offender's family. People do not base their actions on guilt or fear of God but on not getting caught. The government enforces social standards and catches violators, who face politically adjudicated courts. People try to resolve their differences out of court. According to the author, China is a vicious cycle of conquest and revenge, making it difficult for Westerners and overseas Chinese to do business there. Although some overseas Chinese were found to be corrupt, they helped modernize the country while Westerners are seen as a source of money, expertise, and technology. That explains why they find it difficult to do business in China. China's complex relationship with the West. In this book, the author explores the complex relationship between China and the West. Beginning with Lord George Macartney's failed attempts to traverse China in 1793, the book details China's suspicion and distrust towards the West as a result of foreign exploitation and domination. However, by the 1970s, China's failed attempts to align with Russia opened the doors for American firms to enter the Chinese market. The book delves into the tactics employed by China in bargaining for favorable terms with Western companies. By 1983, the U.S. firms were complaining about restricted access to Chinese markets. Meanwhile, President George H.W. Bush believed that China needed to be guided towards being an economic powerhouse, despite the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. The author explains how U.S. trade policy with China became linked to its human rights practices, but President Clinton eventually backed down, leading to China signing about 85,000 contracts with non-Chinese investors. The book concludes with China's admission to the World Trade Organization in 2001 and the lucrative presence of foreign investments in China. Success in Chinese business negotiations. Learn proven tactics for successful business negotiations with Chinese firms, including creating a win-win environment, avoiding divide-and-conquer strategies, and dealing with theatrics. If you're looking to do business with Chinese companies, it's crucial to be well prepared for negotiations. Drawing on previous foreign business negotiations, this book provides useful hints to help you navigate complex negotiations with Chinese firms. One of the most important tactics is to create a win-win environment, where both parties benefit from the deal. This requires understanding what your Chinese counterparts want, such as technology transfers and manufacturing know-how, and showing them how they can benefit from your stance. It's also essential to beware of divide and conquer strategies, where Chinese negotiators try to separate you from your team and get huge concessions. To avoid this, never make vague deals and always negotiate directly with senior officials. The Chinese can be skilled at forcing foreign firms to compete with each other, so you need to be wary of foreign rivalries. In addition, be prepared for theatrics, as Chinese negotiators use various tactics to gain the upper hand. They may even lie and make up non-existent laws, so be sure to stay focused on your objectives. Finally, be prepared to use humor and be tough when necessary. While Chinese negotiators appreciate humor, they also respect strength. Always remember that face saving is very important in Chinese culture, so never insult your Chinese counterparts, as this could cost you the deal. By following these proven tactics, you can increase your chances of success in business negotiations with Chinese firms. Doing business in China. Doing business in China has some fundamental realities based on its history and suspicion of foreigners. Chinese people want to gain access to foreign capital and control any business dealings. It's essential to have majority ownership and management control over hiring and finances in a partnership or joint venture. Training and retaining Chinese employees are crucial for business success in China. China's transition from socialism to privatization made certain people rich, and corruption is widespread. Chinese officials and state-run business managers live well beyond their salaries. Legally protecting your business is not always reliable in China because the party's power can supersede the law. The Chinese react to party directives as ancient emperors' orders and demand that foreigners show how their activities benefit China. On the other hand, the U.S. policy towards China has not always been steady. In the Clinton administration, conservatives viewed China as a growing threat. This led to advanced technology agreements by McDonnell Douglas and Hughes Electronics being put on hold. There were allegations of companies passing secrets and technology to China to gain access to the Clinton administration. Despite these issues, the Bush administration changed the U.S.'s adversarial approach towards China after September 11. In contrast, U.S. technology companies faced the risk of losing out to competitors from other countries with more open export policies. In conclusion, to succeed in China, embrace the Chinese customer and training and retaining Chinese employees, but beware of government officials and the party's power.
China's rapid growth and adoption of Western innovation has transformed it into a formidable economic force, making it a highly attractive market for global corporations. McGregor's book prepares business people for the unique challenges they will face while doing business in China, shedding light on the historical context and cultural intricacies that shape Chinese attitudes towards Westerners. By understanding the significance of strategic negotiations, creating win-win situations, and respecting Chinese customs and traditions, readers will gain invaluable insights for their ventures in China. As the landscape continues to evolve, adaptability to change, a deep understanding of the Chinese political and cultural environment, and the ability to form lasting local alliances will be key to lasting success in this intriguing market.